Okay. We back, man. Finally back. It's been a couple of tough weeks, but we back with another episode. So let's just jump right into it. Get it going. Right and proper. All right. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk about what's been going on with me and the fam, and just get y'all up to speed. So let's get this thing. Let me share this. Let me share. Make sure y'all share it, man. Shabbat shalom to everybody who celebrate. Okay. All right. All right. Let's start the show.
Check the forecast, check the broadcast. It's the podcast, it's the boycast. New episode starting right now. Yeah, look, they ain't got a clue. They saying how you make it in this truth without a bishop or a crew. Cause I'm the bishop and the few. I put the Jew up in the juice. He put the loose up on my loose and show me what I need to do. And make the floor before the roof. Cause the rain is just a stain. It rains on the blameless and the blame. And that would never change. Let me explain. It mean I grounded before I grew a little. You act like you knew a lot before you knew a little. It's not complicated once you get rid of the riddles. You teach the top is just the middle. You worse than some spittle. The real truth is too big and you bruisers are brittle. To catch this you need a net and not carry it like Kittles. Why your faith never lack? My power showed me. How you make it out of that? My power showed me. Why you always coming strapped? My power showed me. How you able to see that? My power showed me.
All right. Another episode of the Boycast, episode number 11. Man, I'm checking my hair. I'm like, man, I didn't realize how nappy it look, but who cares, right? Who truly cares? We um we gonna start off the show how we usually start off the show with some inventors, black inventors. And like I say, I'm gonna get y'all up to speed on what's been going on lately these past couple weeks. And yeah, we gonna just do it like that. Hold on. Okay. So I know everybody been okay, so first of all, I know everybody heard about the thing with the submarines and everything. And everybody was saying, like, okay, there's gotta be a distraction. Me personally, it was so obvious it was a distraction. But we all entertained it because we all like to be entertained. But this is what the distraction was, which is really wasn't a distraction. It was just how they do things is because they got to go through a process. It's not just, oh, you ain't paying attention, we gonna do this thing. It's really not that because eventually you're gonna pay attention and you're gonna be like, oh no, I don't agree with this. But the way people are, if you can minimize, because a lot of people have been up in arms about this whole lab meat thing. Everybody is not on board with this lab meat thing. What they are doing is creating meat. They are using cells from real animals and using biotechnology to create food. So they would use some cells with skin samples or something from the liver, or so they will dissect the animal, use its blood, and try to make food out of it. Trying to cut costs, they say. Trying to protect the environment, they say. Trying to save humanity, they say. But it does not. It literally does the opposite of everything. Because if you're trying to protect the environment, hold on, let me Let me continue what I was doing 1 second. I'm gonna give a couple people a couple chances to come in. I ain't been in. I'm off of my little rhythm. But hold on. Okay, so the whole thing is they want to save humanity. Okay. Man, another thing, I don't know, it's been hot. It's been hot, man. Okay. It's been unbearably hot. All right. So, okay, one more thing I'm about to do, then we can get started. I'm just sharing it to the groups. I'm just sharing it to Israelite Be Jamming and Truth Music, Real Truth Music group. That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. So the thing is about like they say that this lab meat is supposed to protect the animals, protect the environment, cut down costs. And I was looking at some videos and some info. It costs like $500 million to set up one factory. And this one factory can produce meat. Uh it produces meat, but it produces it in a way that the production of it is really not a fast. It's not a fast thing, even though they're using technology to grow the meat out and blase. So one chicken nugget from this article, from this video I was watching, one chicken nugget will cost them about $50 to make. So yeah, just one chicken nugget. You can get $50. You have $50. You went to Walmart anywhere, you get about 4 or 5 bags, or even more in some places. You get about 5 or 6 bags of chicken nuggets with 50 a piece in them joints for $50. So one chicken nugget will cost $10 to make in the lab grown in the fake meat lab growing. I don't know what the hell. What do we call these places? They just lab meat. It's fake meat. They are letting people sell fake meat. What's the term for lab grown meat? I guess lab grown meat. That sounds stupid, but lab grown meat is being produced and it's being sold. Now, a lot of people came out and was like, it's already been sold. And I believe so. A lot of these soy and a lot of these plant-based things, where the info is coming out now that a lot of things that say plant-based doesn't have anything to do with the natural occurrence of what would we call it? Like being a vegetarian, like that food is temperate already. That's like saying, okay, we got a GM, you got a regular tomato and a GMO tomato, and these people use the GMO tomato to create this plant-based food, this plant-based meat. So it's already fake. So everything is still fake. You're using the fake vegetables to make the fake meat. So it's already been here, but now they are making it where they don't have they can use the animals now. The animals are, like I said, they're using blood and skin samples, and it's just stupid. And a lot of people, and this is another thing I learned too, as we hear all these conspiracies. The reason why a lot of these things don't happen suddenly, a lot of their plans don't happen suddenly, because you have a group of people all over the world, groups of people, just like you have villains, you got heroes. So you got people who's preparing to do this damage and do these evil things, and you got people who set things in place so these things do not happen. So my kids, they love watching Justice League. Y'all remember the old Justice League from like 2005, or the old one. And I said that's old, like where I know some people that have been watching cartoons since the 80s. But anyways, so the old Justice League, they get a bunch of the superheroes together and they get a bunch of the villains together, and they battle it out, and you get a more broad aspect of what life is in in like the DC world. That's what real life is. You got a bunch of bad people and a bunch of good people. They fighting every day. Every day they fighting so things don't happen or things don't occur. So what we think, a lot of brothers and sisters in our community think that it's just all evil and the whole world is just sick and evil. And if that was the case, everything would happen that they were trying to do. You still got people that want to follow the Most High, whether they of the nation or not. You still got people who truly believe in God that want to do godly things that are in high positions, whether we want to believe that or not. That's why a lot of these things don't happen. So this plant-based thing is being it's articles back to back coming out about how bad this thing is and how much money is being wasted on creating these things. So that's my daughter in the background. So she got me off track. So with all this plant-based stuff going on, what I originally was talking about was when they mentioned these billionaires going down in this water and dying, and we all just talked about it for days and days and days while they was pushing this plant lab meat idea right in front of us. And the whole thing is, when we are distracted, we do kind of allow these things to get pushed. But that doesn't mean we have to accept it now. Okay, you tricked me into not paying attention to what y'all was doing. You tricked a lot of people into not protesting, and you know a lot of nations get out there and they stand in front of your factory. They only allow your trucks to come in the driveway and unload. So they was allowed to maybe get past that process, but that don't mean we still have to eat this stuff. That don't mean we lost. We may have been distracted, but we didn't lose. So we don't have to accept these lab-grown meats. I think that is a way for the rich. It's already been documented, videos, articles, everything, a lot of things coming out about underground bunkers that they are building. People have been hearing the noise up under the ground for years now. They are creating these throughout all of America, these underground bunkers. Now, whether it's to prepare for war, when war come, what was it? The Nazis did that. They got underground. The Chinese do that. Everybody get underground, because if you're on top of the ground with a bomb, you die. So they could be preparing for a war. They could be where they store all the best foods and vegetables. And this is why I had thought about this years ago. I said, man, we only talk about the same stuff. The same food. It's like 8 vegetables and fruit that we talk about, when there's hundreds of thousands of varieties of different fruits and vegetables. You got different type of bananas. You got purple bananas. You got orange bananas. You got bananas that the real bananas got seeds in them. The ones we buy from the store for 69 cents that come in a big bundle, they huge. Them ain't even real bananas. So they already been giving us fake foods for hundreds of years. Not 10, 20, 100 years. When you ever seen a banana with seeds in it? They grow everywhere in the world. So why we ain't seen them? So they already been establishing these cities and giving us fake food. Now they push this whole veganism thing on us, to push this agenda to give us to think that we will accept lab meats. Now, lab meats is still not a vegan thing, because you're dealing with the blood of animals, but it's the alternative to somebody like me. Like, I would like to not eat okay, so this is the thing right now. The processing centers, I'm gonna bring it back down. The processing centers are being shut down. The animal processing centers. And the people behind this now is very clear. First, you thought it was people who just love animals, but it's very clear who've been shutting down the animal processing centers. It was these scientists. Guess who owns the most farming land in America? Bill Gates, a mad scientist. So they've been positioning themselves to take over the food source, to push this thing, these lab-grown meat. So I really just think they just want to keep the good foods to themselves. They always say, "Oh yeah, we're it's a shortage on this, a shortage on that." I don't think it's a shortage on it. I think when you want to, It's like you want to harbor the best things. When you want the best things for your family only, it's a lineage that they got to protect. The Rothschilds, the what you call them guy? What you call them people over in England? I forget their names. But anyways, they want to keep all these great things to themselves. That's why when we get stuff, that's why we getting sick and get cancer from the food. It's the food that killing us because they're giving us fake food. And that's all that I really think it is. They just want to harbor all the great things so their family can live healthy as possible while they give us garbage at a fraction of the cost. But this lab thing, this lab grown meat facilities cost too much to even maintain. I'm like, what's the agenda on why even do it if it costs so much to even get started? But yeah, it's listen, man. Anytime it's a big push and it's a lot of people behind something, you know it's something evil coming at the end. I mean, you had even brothers and sisters in the community saying if you eat meat, you're going to hell. I mean, when did that come? When did that come in? It came in with the veganism movement. Even if you call yourself a servant of the Most High, you could be very, very subdued by movements. Movements is just a bunch of people giving out information that says this is bad for us and this is not working for us, without us actually doing the I would like to say the scientific method of finding out ourselves. None of us is touching data and saying, yeah, this is really truly bad for us. And that's why I say they was shutting down factories, food processing plants. They was shutting them down, talking about cruelty to the animals and all that, just for y'all to build $1 billion facility and stealing blood. Like I mean, what is that? So it's I hate to say, I can't really say it's a money thing because it seems more expensive. They will be spending more money to try to feed everybody lab meat. So I think it's just to kill everybody. It's just that simple. They just because I mean, what else can if it costs evil people, rich people don't like to spend money. First of all, the richest of the richest do not want to spend the money is the power, so they're not giving it away. So why would they be spending more money to get food out? Why is that process more expensive? It's to kill you. That's what it is. It's to kill you. It's to kill us all. I made a post. I said, a couple weeks ago, I said, they allowing the lab meats to be sold. We all be dead by January. Don't eat that lab meat stuff, and then you won't even know to some extent because we already been eating all this cancerous stuff. It's cancer in cereal. It's cancer in breakfast. Your bacon, and it's cancer everywhere, man. We are dying from the things that we eat. And it's just that simple. And they like, we gotta ramp this up. So they are spending more money. It's not a cheaper thing to do. When one chicken nugget costs $10 damn. And they plan on feeding everybody in the world with this? Yeah, no, they want to kill somebody. And yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. They want us dead. So yeah, so that's what's been going on with the lab processing thing. I looked at a few other things. When they're talking about the environment. And they talking about they want to save the environment with the food processing thing, so they really don't care about the cost. Well, if you running your factory off the same type of mineral, what's the you need machines, need oil. I mean, what like you got the same things the regular factory is using, and just running all day and all damn night. I mean, how much more greater are you being to the environment? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I do get it. They trying to kill us. It's just that simple. So, all right. Lab meats, man, they crazy. I want to get to a couple of inventors because we cannot forget our brothers and sisters. And we shall not. So I want to get to a couple of, I may just get one inventor. One inventor in particular, really, I mean, this brother. So if you want to talk more about the lab meats, and if you got some information about it, you can share it. I can send y'all the links that I got. It was only a couple, but I can share with y'all what I got. So if y'all more interested in that. But let's move on to greater news. I mean, lab meets, we all know. We just want to avoid that. Okay. It just costs too damn much. We're not going to do that. All right. So I want to get to this brother. His name. Y'all write this stuff down because this is very important. You tell your kids how great we are. Inventors should be talked about throughout Israel continuously. This brother name is Richard Spikes. Richard Spikes. You can go on Wikipedia. That's what I be on. And I just look at it. I just read them all. I just read what they do. And it'd be amazing. But this brother here, I got another brother too, but I might do the other brother next week. And sweat in my eye, man. I told you it's been real hot it's been real hot. Our air went out. It's just been a disaster these couple weeks. But Richard Spikes, born October 2nd, 1878, was an African American inventor, the holder of a number of U.S. patents. One of his patents are the beer tap, bartender, buy me a drink. T-Pain couldn't have sang that without Richard Spikes. Bar tap, the beer tap thing that he created that. He's the ruler of that. He's the master of that. The owner of that. Somebody is the great grandkid of Richard Spikes. You got some money somewhere, man. They can't just take this because his name is still on the thing. So whoever his family is got to be can get something from somewhere. Maybe not. Who knows? But find out. That may be your great grandfather. The beer tap, he created that. The directional signal that we use on our cars, that y'all barely use but y'all be stopping in front of me and never use it. A brother made that. So now that you know a brother made that, start using your signals. All right. Listen. Roll rage. The brother created the driving signal, man. That is crazy. A brother, Richard Spikes. Insane. Let me give you something else he did. The automatic gear shaft. So this man took these horse carriage and garbage things that they was making and made them great. Richard Spikes. The beer tap. Now these things shouldn't all go together. You shouldn't all experience these things at one time. Okay, if you're going to experience the beer tap, do not be nowhere operating your traffic signals or a gear shaft. I don't think these things should be combined. I don't think we should celebrate all his inventions at one time, because it may lead to something. Okay, just got some information from. Oh no, this ain't no information. This was my secretary looking out for me. I thought this was a letter. Secretary, aka wife. She heard I was sweating, so came in with my eyes up. Appreciate that. So, okay. Not only did he create the beer tap, the directional signal, the gear shaft, he also created the automatic transmission. This man is the creator of everything that we hopped in. He got the patents of everything we touch in the car. A brother. So I'm running on again. The beer tap, the directional signal that y'all don't use, the gear shaft, the automatic transmission, and the brake system. I mean, this is what we do. This is who we are. Stop sitting in your Shabbat class talking about nothing. Talk about being great. Talk about inventing. Talk about these great brothers and sisters who we should uphold in reverence and never forget about. Richard Spikes, man. The brother was a barber, school teacher, musician, businessman, a saloon keeper, saloon, whatever they said. Man, Richard Spikes, man. This stuff, like, this should be the most important thing in Black history. Like, even if we do it for a month, like if the whole world is saying inventors every day, because we can do 5 inventors a day, especially in that short month. So yeah, Richard Spikes, very important brother. So okay, we talked about the lab meets, talked about these great brothers and sisters that we need to talk about every day. And I want to get something. Okay. So, and with that, we'll talk about the next subject. But seriously though, y'all look at Richard Spikes and then y'all look at Richard Spikes and tell me that this one man, and we talked about brothers and sisters weeks ago, that this one man literally is worth trillions of dollars. Trillions. I mean, the number shouldn't even be zillions. Let's get into the zillions. Who is his family? Where did his family go? His lineage just don't disappear. Jesus. Yeah. So, all right. So on to, I'm gonna fill y'all in with what I've been going through, why the boycast wasn't operating at as it should be. So recently, couple weeks back, we supposed to had a baby on the 10th. The baby here. Shout out to young Jed. Young, you can call him Jetty. Call your nephew Jetty. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out a cool nickname for him. Jed, or call him Jed. I almost called him Young Jedi. I don't know. His name is Jedediah. So we call him Jetty, Jed, whatever. Y'all call him whatever y'all want. So we supposed to had a baby on the 10th. And during that week, I called off work. We was sitting here at the house, preparing, getting ready. We was planning to have a home birth. We got the doulas out here. We had 2 doulas out here. I mean, we sat out here. She was going. Hold on. Let me tell the story in a more a better way. I mean, let me keep it. Let me see. So when we was all right, so the 10th she supposed to be having the baby. She didn't start having contractions till like maybe the 17th, I want to say. Yeah, about the 17th. So it was a whole week then passed of her not even, being ready to give birth. So she started having contractions days later. She in there. She said the 20th. So it's like 10 days before she started having like real contractions to have a baby. So we got the doulas out here. We ready for this home birth. We set up the house. We just ready. We preparing ourselves. And it just didn't happen. So a couple days later, maybe about 2 days, she was feeling real sick, real ill. She had to go to the hospital. She went to the hospital, and it was some real hard complications. Oh, well, the next day. It was the next day. So the 20th, it didn't happen. And the next day, she ended up having to go to the hospital. Real complicated, real stressful. She was up in there for a day, so a couple of days. She ended up giving birth on the 23rd. Now she had to get a C-section, and she never had a C-section before. This is our ninth kid. All of them been, vaginal, the regular way, and she had to get a C-section, and it was just real complicated. It was real stressful for her, in that environment because number one, she was by herself. And she's never been by herself. I was there when I'm always there unless I had to work. One kid I wasn't there for. Two of them. And so but we always had somebody to pull up, aunties, cousins, doula, somebody there, to help with the process. So she had to get a C-section the first time. And she had to get a C-section because like I said, the complications with it, and she was diagnosed with a condition where your blood pressure may cause you to have to be induced, and they were trying to get her induced since the 10th. I mean, earlier than the 10th, since the 5th or something. But we don't want to force the baby out when the baby come. So I'm just trying to keep everything in order while I'm telling the story. So when she get to the hospital, they say she got, they try to give her, say she had this symptom where she couldn't, her blood pressure or whatever wouldn't allow her to, she needed medication they were trying to give her. So I was on the phone with her, and we were going through the process. She ready to push, and I was on the phone with her, and I could hear these nurses just dragging her, trying to force her to do something that I feel like her body just wasn't, capable of doing at that time. I think it was just wear and tear. If anybody had more than, 3 or 4 kids, I guess it gets tiring. I mean, I think people can vouch for that. For her to have 9 babies, I think her body just was just over it. And she's only 30, 35, so 34. And so that's 9 kids from 17 to 34. That's just back to back stress. And while this is going on, this is week after week after week. I'm having to call off work. I'm not going to work for 3 weeks. It was tough trying to maintain the house. I'm cooking. The kids acting like they like my food. I know they don't. I'm trying to be still the fun dad and the nurturing dad, and still trying to keep it together on my end, because I'm stressed out about the situation. So she ended up having to get a C-section. I think she stayed an extra day, and then she came home. Then we came home, we saw the baby, beautiful baby, everything perfect, everything solid. I called to work. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to get back to work. Let's do it. And then the morning I go into work, and she calls me and tells me that, she's feeling a lot of pain and feeling a lot of, she's feeling sick. So I had to leave work. And not being at work for 2.5 weeks, I got to leave work early on my first day back, come home, and we got to get her back to the hospital. So she ended up going to the hospital with the baby, because the baby is still, she breastfeeds, so the baby is breastfeeding. And some brothers and a brother and a sister, Mike and Tiffany, they always look out for us. They real good people, been knowing them for years. I actually met Mike, which is funny. We worked at Stouffer's years before we even met each other. And so she was in the hospital, and they diagnosed her with a condition that kills Black women. Like it's been killing Black women, where your blood pressure, the blood pressure is supposed to be for a normal person, maybe 120 over something. I forget the numbers, but it's 120 over what 110. I don't know. I don't know the blood pressure numbers, but let's just say 120 over something. It was called postpartum preeclampsia. if y'all want to Google that. So she had that, and her blood pressure was like 170 something, some outrageous number. They basically said, if you go home, you might not wake up. So we had to deal with that for days. The brother and the sister came, brought the baby to me. I having to deal with the baby while worried about her, taking care of the kid, and it was just a reality check. Like, if something was to happen to my wife, I don't see how brothers and sisters. I don't see why this is what it did to me. When you look at your situation with you and your spouse or whoever you with, whoever you courting, whatever, that are traumatic. You don't think about things like that. Y'all be getting into little stupid arguments, and we all do it. Things that's we argue about things that's not really that important. We neglect each other in certain aspects that allow us to um, get over get over humps in our lives. And I just was like, man, if she leaves, it would be nothing. It would be nothing to grab onto as I progress through life. It just would have been nothing. Like, dang, I don't have nothing now. And I know it's sad to say having 9 kids. I don't know what happened to the live stream. Is y'all still there? Did it click? It clicked out on my end. Did y'all see that? Okay. Anyways, so we good now? Yeah, I don't know what that was. But anyway, so I think that we need to value each other a little bit more. I think this community is based off and pushed on people being kings, and yeah, I like to look at myself as our relation. But yeah, she's almost like she has become delegated to, like, we when we think of a helpmeet. I'm trying my best to explain this. When we think of a helpmate, it's somebody to help us do something, right? And those things shouldn't just be sexual, and it shouldn't just be automatic agreeing with everything you put out. I think somebody who's helping you should be able to say and do things that allow you to be even better. I think that we are not allowing our wives to ascend with us. And you cannot build a kingdom like that. You cannot build a family like that. And with this whole situation, now listen, we going through hardships. We don't have no money. The wife is sick. Got to check her blood pressure. She got to take medicine. We got a baby. We got kids who frustrated because they like, well, what's going on? Mommy gone for a couple of days. Things around here is tight. So going through all this stuff, man, I would rather be now, for whatever reason, the Most High done blessed us throughout these years, and we never went without. We even if we had to reach out to brothers and sisters, they will always come through. Now, I would rather have nothing. I would rather have totally nothing, like, than not have a stable family. Somebody you can lean on and be like, yeah, we struggling, we hurting right now, but at least we got each other. That is more important to me. And like I say, with this, what is it called? The postpartum preeclampsia is a sickness that kills. I mean, the way they was talking on the phone, like, yeah, this could be it. If this don't work, this is it. And I'm like, what? Like, you go from getting ready to have another baby in the house, excited and preparing and doing all these things and getting ready to celebrate, to we about to be down a family member, somebody who helped establish this. Yeah, I think can y'all hear me good enough? Let me see. Something happened to this. It looked like my mic went out. I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Yeah. Okay. Can all right, so we're having some technical difficulties, but so I'm gonna go ahead and end the live because it's breaking up pretty bad, and this is crazy. So, anyways, we're gonna continue this next week.